What does Sifuna really want? I have a question. Ni nini Sifuna anataka? Because the guy needs to come and tell us what he really wants. Sifuna was in a radio interview at Spice FM. And first he tried to insinuate that all the media houses were deny a chance to go and speak. And that is why Standard Media Group, because Spice is for Standard, and zile station ya Kameme, ndio wamempatia chance ya kuongea. That's why he has not been doing a lot of interviews. But that is neither here or there. So we cannot confirm that kind of information. But there are some things that Sifuna said in that interview that really made me ask questions. Because here we have a person who doesn't want to be president. He doesn't know whether he wants to form a coalition or not. He doesn't know whether he wants to stay in ODM or not. The guy is just confused. And in return, he's also confusing his supporters. Because now, where are you taking people? You are saying that your goal is to make sure that Ruto is one term. But where are you taking your people? Before I go into the details, I know there are some of you who are watching me for the first time. I'd like you to take a second to subscribe and to hit the notification bell so that anytime I post a video, you will always be the first to watch. So kindly do so, na kama kawaida, I will be back. Thank you for everyone who has subscribed, and for the return subscribers, I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Now, back to my video. My question is, what does Sifuna really want? And where does he really want to take his supporters? Those people who follow him, we don't know how many they are. Because Mimi, you can never judge someone by his support on social media or the kind of crowd that he pulls. You can't. So, where does Sifuna really want to take his people? Because the guy doesn't want to be president. The guy tries to create some scenarios and try to say things that even Raila himself never... Yani, for him, he just wants to make sure that William Ruto is one term. Okay, if William Ruto is one term, where do you want to take your people? Sawa, atuendi kwa William Ruto, unataka tuende wapi? Aya, William Ruto akisha kwa one term, who do you want to be our presidential candidate? I want you to listen to some of these things that Sifuna said in that interview, and then I will come back.
Ni waonye wa Kenya. Hii language ambayo nimeanza kusikia hii. Wanasema ati Sifuna lazima aende kwa debe. Ati kama si Sifuna, nimesikia mwingine akisema hapa, ati kama siko kwa debe ati tuachane mapema. This thing is not about Sifuna bana. Tunajaribu kukomboa nchi. Mkileta haya maneno mtasambaratisha hii opportunity ambayo tuko naye kuweka historia kwamba iwapo tutakuwa na serikali ambayo haitusikizi sisi wa Kenya, tutawafurusha twende nyumbani. Nataka ngoja nieleze bwana boss, tafadhali msifanye hii kitu iwe juu ya Sifuna. Tunataka tujenge movement ambayo inaweza kuwa consequential, tuweze kuwa na movement ambayo inaweza kuleta mabadiliko katika Kenya hii yetu. Lakini wale ambao watapata fursa ya Wakenya waseme wewe ndio tunataka utuongoze, lazima tukubaliane wewe ni mtu aina gani. Na wakisema ni Edwin Sifuna, nakwambia wacha tupitie hiyo process, kwa sababu unajua wengine nijua hawanijui. They think I am perfect. I am not perfect. I also have my flaws. We need to be tested, bro. We need everybody. Mimi bado ndio katibu mkuu wa chama cha ODM. Sijatolewa. Na shughuli hiyo nzima iko mahakamani, na ni kwa sababu moja peke yake. Nimekupa story ya kwamba nilikuwa tayari kumpatia Mheshimiwa Oburu barua nimwambie wewe kama bado you feel that Sifuna should not be the SG, you can get opportunity to appoint your own SG. Si ndio? Nimesema publicly sio lazima Sifuna akuwe SG. Kile kitu ambacho tunasisitiza sisi, tunalinda maadili na sheria na katiba ya chama cha ODM. Umesikia tukikwambia kwamba tulikuwa tunatarajia tuite mkutano wa NDC ambao kuna uchaguzi wa viti vyote. Mimi Sifuna niende kwa debe, wao usijui wako na SG wangapi, wasimamishe yule mtu ambaye anataka. Akinishinda katika uchaguzi wa chama, nikubali. Yeye akubali kwamba kuna watu ambao wameonyesha nia ya kukua viongozi ama vinara wa chama cha ODM. Kuna watu ambao wanataka kuwa wenyekiti wa chama cha ODM. Walete lineup yao, tulete lineup yetu, wananchi wakuje pale Kasarani wachaguane. Iwapo watatoa Sifuna kwa njia ambayo inafaa, mimi sitangangania kitu. Siwezi kuamilia kitu hiki, kitu si yangu, ni ya wanachama wa ODM. Ile kitu naona tukifanya kotini ni kuwarai kwamba wafuate katiba ya chama. Mimi nataka nirudie hapa sasa. Sisi wanalinda mwananchi, tunataka uchaguzi ndani ya chama cha ODM.
Kwa hivyo uko tayari kuwa SG wa Oburu Oginga?
Nakwambia niko tayari kuwa SG wa Kionara ambaye amechaguliwa na wanachama wa ODM. Tuingie kwenye debe.
So that was Sifuna for you, saying that He's not happy with the kind of conversation where people are now saying that Sifuna is not going to be in the ballot, then nobody else will. No, then there is no need of them going to vote. And I really sympathize with Sifuna by ni kama he doesn't understand Kenyans. Sifuna doesn't understand Kenyans. Sifuna mistakes some things for love. He doesn't understand how Kenyans think. When Kenyans wants to finish you, that is how they start. Wakenya wakitaka kukumaliza, that is how they start. That is the kind of conversation they start building around you. They start saying that if it is not you, then it is nobody else. And you mistake that for love. You mistake that for, hey, these people wananipenda. Within no time, you start seeing a lot of people trying to attack your character, going against you, saying, kwani lazima Sifuna ndiye kwa ballot? Kwani lazima nini? Kwani lazima hivi? And within no time, now they start discussing you negatively. The positive, the love that was there, people now start discussing something different. They start saying, no, you cannot tell us that kama si Sifuna, hakuna mtu mwingine tunaweza votia. This Kenya has a lot of people. Kenyans have over a million. Kenya has over a million people who can be president. You don't need to tell us that lazima ikuwe Sifuna. Those are the kind of conversation that will start building online. And within no time, you find yourself, you are being discussed. The discussion about you being the president in a reduced until sasa no one discusses you anymore. Sifuna doesn't understand how politics work. He doesn't understand. He thinks that if people say that bila wewe hakuna mtu mwingine ni wewe tu, he thinks that that is love. From Kenyans. When Kenyans love you, you must question yourself. Ukiona Wakenya wanakupenda sana na wanakupenda wengi, question yourself. Kaa chini ujiulize, hii mapenzi hii haikai kuwa real, and you will find that it is not true love. Kenyans show love Kenyans profess love through hating you. Even Raila himself, the people who hated Raila so much, they loved him deep down. And that is why when things will always go wrong in this country, when they had their back on the wall, they will always run to Raila. They will always say, Baba, why are you silent na tunomia? Kujo tutete. The same people who hated him. So Sifuna should not mistake the kind of love he is receiving to be the conversation around it at your, especially from these young people. These online people, these Gen Zs on TikTok and everything. He should not mistake that thing for love. These TikTokers, we have seen them turn against their own people who they loved and supported and turned against them. The same people they contributed for when they were in need, they turned against them and they started insulting them and calling them names without even those people provoking them. So Sifuna doesn't understand how politics work. And he doesn't understand even that strategy of that thing of people saying that if it is not you, it's nobody else. He thinks it's love. That one can also be a tactic that is being used by your opponent. William Ruto can be using that. He can be financing people to say that. So that those people who don't like you start coming up and speaking their mind and saying, you cannot tell us that bila Sifuna, hakuna mnini. And it becomes a whole debate. And within no time, your character has been assassinated. And you cannot even talk in front of people. You need to be smart. Now, let's go to the second part where he's saying that there is nowhere Baba said that he will support Ruto for 2027. And then he said a lot of things, that, oh, Baba said this, and all this manner of things. But let's face facts here. Sifuna is the only person who has said, in a public podium, he said that ever since Baba died, everyone has said that baba alimwambia. So kila mtu kuna kitu baba alimwambia, and we cannot all agree on what baba aliambia kila mtu wakati walikuwa wawili, watatu, wanne, but we can agree on what baba said in public and in front of people. Now let's go back to what Raila said in front of people na mbele ya watu. First, Raila said number one thing. Raila said hii mambo ya kusema two term is a conversation yenye hataki kusikia because they have not reached that point. That is true. Baba said that those people who are saying what two term should not say that because they had not agreed that. But still Baba said that ODM is a democratic party, that everyone has his own choice. The same way Sifuna had his own choice of saying, I will not support Ruto. It is also the same way those people who were in ODM, who are people, said that they will support William Ruto. But Baba said that is not a conversation that ODM should have. He was speaking his mind generally. But he also said that the party has not come to a conclusion that they are going to support William Ruto. What he said that the party is in an agreement with William Ruto to implement the 10 points agenda. And the party will look forward into 2027 and beyond what is going to happen. But for now, he said that people should continue mobilizing and uniting and strengthening the party. So those are the things Baba said. Another thing that Baba said in public, he said, Baba asked people when he was in Migori in the burial of this guy, nimesahau jina yake. Well, Baba said categorically, and he said, he asked the people that, it was the lady of this former, she was the first lady member of parliament in Kisumu, where in Migori, where also Ruto was there and all the ODM brigade were there. And Raila stood on the podium and said, nyinyi watu, wenye munasema Ruto must go, and then that is a question he asked. And then he also concluded by saying that this union between ODM and UDA will continue until 2027, and it's sure by 2027 they will have think of a better way of working together beyond 2027. That was what Raila said. And he said that they are not going to be threatened. They are not going to be... In fact, he also gave account of why he had to work with William Ruto. Because the country was going to be taken over by the military. Raila gave account of that, and he said the reason why he worked with William Ruto. And he insinuated and he confirmed that they are going to have a partnership. They are going to look into a partnership that will go beyond 2027. But for now, he insisted that William Ruto is the president and he needs to be given a chance to serve until 2027. And that is what Raila said. And that is what ODM has been doing. So ODM as a party has just continued with what Raila said. On why some are saying 2 terms for William Ruto, others are saying 1 term in the ODM fraternity. Raila knew that ODM is a democratic party. Everyone has an opinion. But they can still, the party as a party must have a stand. So the party has a stand that they are working with William Ruto until 2027 and see if there is a way they can come to an agreement that this partnership can continue beyond 2027. So hizi mambo zingine zenye Sifuna alikuwa anasema ati sijui Raila alimwambia, sijui Raila alisema nini. When did Raila say that? If Raila told you mkiwa wawili, if those are the things Raila shared with Sifuna when there were 2 of them, then we can never confirm that. He shouldn't tell us all those things. We can only take into account what Raila said in public. And that is what even Sifuna reminded people, that we can only take into account what Raila said in public. So trying to twist facts so that they can satisfy your own political desire, or they can meet your political ideology or push your agenda, that is not being factual. The other thing Sifuna is saying, that ODM, that he doesn't want to step down as ODM. He said that he's still the ODM Secretary General. That he wanted to withdraw from ODM and to resign officially. But the party did not follow what they had asked for, to call for a national delegate conference for people to vote. That was not the agenda of the party. Sifuna, as the Secretary General of the party, when you were being elected, when you came in as the SG of ODM, no one voted for you. You ambushed and you took over from Babu Namwamba by force. And you stayed in that office until I think a year or two later when you are endorsed. You are not voted for. So how comes when people want to remove you, and ODM has done all the right things, ODM has tried to remove you through the party structures, through following the party constitution. You are now telling the party and demanding and requesting the party that the party should call a national delegate conference for the party to vote. You yourself, when you are taking over from Babu Namwamba by force, did you ask the party to come and vote? Did you ask for a national delegate conference to come and vote Ababu out so that you can be... You know, we need to stop being dishonest. In fact, the party has done all the possible things. The party has... You have taken party through a lot of tribunals and a lot of court meetings and the party has respected. Because the party could have still gone ahead and removed you. But they have decided to obey court orders. They have decided to follow. You have taken the party to court. They have said it's okay. When they were having their own... When ODM was having its NDC, you never turned up. So, where were you expecting your concerns to be addressed if you cannot turn up to the NDC and address those issues? You decided to hold a parallel meeting. Call it your own NDC. And on that NDC, you tried, you insulted your own party leader by calling him mediocre. So, how do you want to act? So, when you want to take power from ODM and being the SG of ODM, you want to use force, which you used force and you used ukatumia kifua and you became the SG. Later you were endorsed. Later your name was proposed and the NDC, the delegates endorsed you. You are never voted for. There was never voting where there was an option and so that you people can vote and decide that we want Sifuna. But now when they want to remove you, you are telling ODM, you are telling Akina Oburu, the party leader, to call an NDC so that people can say what they want. Do they want Sifuna or not? And that is why I'm telling you, you ODM supporters who are following Sifuna, you need to look through the lies of Sifuna. Sifuna's objective is very clear. His master has given him strict orders. Disorganize ODM as much as possible. Break down ODM as much as possible. And he knows very well he cannot break ODM from outside. He has to do it from inside. So that is why he still insists he's the Secretary General of ODM, despite the fact that no one now is consulting him on anything concerning ODM. Despite the fact that he has taken ODM to court, because he's in that office by the virtue of the case, he's taking ODM to court. And if you look at the reasons why he's taking ODM to court, the reasons are very flimsy. So you must understand that Edwin Sifuna's objective, and whoever is paying him, and whoever is financing him, and whoever is behind him, because if all these things Sifuna is doing, there is somebody behind him. If you people understand politics and the dynamics of politics, there is somebody behind Sifuna. That person is the one calling the shots. He's the one telling him the objective. I want you to stay in ODM, but I want you to disorganize ODM as much as you can. I want you to disorganize as much as you can. I will use money, I will use things to make you look big, to make you look convincing. So that you can even try to convince. You can see people like Millie Mabona have started talking differently, have started acting differently. It's because they cannot read through the aim, the objective of Edwin Sifuna. And by the time Millie Mabona will realize, by the time they will be waking up from their sleep, they will realize that Sifuna has destroyed ODM to a point whereby it cannot be redeemed. And Sifuna will have taken them nowhere. They will be like someone has taken you on a trip, and then he has left you on an island, na yeye amefika hapo, amewaabandon, amujui hata mtatoka aje. There is no boat, there is nothing. You have to survive on your own. So people like Millie should be very, very careful. People who are starting to say that oh nini nini should be very, very careful. You should be very, very careful. Because I can tell you for a fact, Oburu Odinga can see through all these things. He has seen through the lies. He has seen through Sifuna. He's just acting foolish because that is the typical Oburu. Oburu is somebody who is very silent but is very calculating. And within no time unapata medili na wewe vile inafaa. Anyway guys, it is what it is. Tell me what you think in the comment section. But I really appreciate. Make sure you become you objective and respectful. There's no need of using insults to push your point. Just share your opinion. So, and if you want to support this platform, my number is always here. You can come, let's partner, let's share ideas, let's see how we can grow this platform and how we can continue informing the masses on matters relating to politics. So thank you. Until next time, bye-bye.